Welcome back to the channel, everybody. How you doing tonight? Hope you're all being safe and trying not to go stir crazy when you're locked in your houses. Now that I'm done fighting the Chinese germs off myself here, I've decided to open the rest of my mystery booster boxes that I got in my initial case because three reasons, really. One, they're fun to open and there's a lot of cool stuff in them. Two, I think you guys like watching them being opened because there's a lot of cool stuff in them, and I want to give you guys something entertaining to do while you're locked in your houses. And three, it's kind of a vendetta at this point because I've opened 4 boxes out of this case and not gotten a single mana crypt. I don't even need a mana crypt, but it's just kind of insulting to me that I haven't gotten a single one out of 4 boxes out of the same case. I watched other people open 2 mana crypts from 1 box. I watched my LGS owner, where I got these boxes from, open a mana crypt out of 1 pack he decided to open. So now it's kind of like a vendetta thing. We're going to cut this thing until it bleeds mana crypts. No. I have an original mana crypt, so I don't even really need one. It's just kind of the point, you know? It's like, hey, where's my mana crypt? Everybody else getting them. I bought 6 boxes. You think I can get at least one? So we're going to try and get one on camera for you guys. So hope you guys are taking care of yourselves and being careful. You know, I mean, obviously it's they say pretty much 1 in 3 people are gonna get it, you know, so I mean it's probably mostly inevitable, you know, but you want to make sure you don't get it and then spread it, because yeah, that's the big problem that everybody's having, and that's why, you know, 3 billion people in a place the size of Texas, it got out of control, and now the whole world has to deal with it. So anyway, we won't talk too much about that. We'll talk about magic cards, but there better be a mana crypt in this box. I'm telling you what. Or at least some more value than that last box. That last box was really, really weak. I was kind of surprised how weak the last box was. We didn't get any of the good uncommons or commons in it even. So it was a terribly weak box, that last one. So we're hoping out for not to get a repeat of that one. If anything, just not a repeat of that one. This one can be used in some naughty combos right here. The Kyora's Follower. It's 2-drop blue-green, 2/2, but you can tap her to untap another target permanent. If you can find a way to untap her, see where I'm going with this? Tormod's Crypt, Core Chant. We got kind of robbed on that one. The old school card is a common. And then we got a Dragonlord Jatoy for our mythic, and a Balefire Leads for our rare foil, finally. The first pack in this one has a little more promise than the whole last box for the most part. So we actually got a couple cards worth $1 or $2, I think, in the first pack here. So hopefully this turns out to be a better box than that last one, because that last one was kind of garbage. Let's dig in here, see what we get. Concentrate. The Crow of Dark Tidings. I didn't see that movie. I saw a bunch of the Crow sequels, but I didn't see that one. Was it any good? Oh boy. My jokes are funny to me, that's all that matters. Rancor. There was a time when that was a beast card. But the game's ramped up a little since then. Cryptic Conscience. Drana, the Calastria Blood Chief is our rare, apparently. And then a Fairy Gambit is our foil rare. So, second pack wasn't as nice as the first one, but it's kind of bad because the first one wasn't really a great pack. It was just decent. So, alright, let's keep digging. Hopefully we'll get something good in here, because, yeah, we need something. I've opened 4 of these boxes out of the same case, and they've all kind of been, I mean, they've been decent value, but not like some of the boxes people are opening to this. So, and I kind of knew that going into the set. Bilby's Portal is our old school card, and a Culligan's Command. There we go. And a Harmonic Sliver. Harmonic Sliver's worth a couple bucks. Culligan's Command's pretty good. That one's worth some money. Bilby's Portal, not so much. So I kind of knew that going into this set, and I told everybody even before the set dropped, I was like, this is going to be kind of hit or miss with the boxes. I think, you know, at the very beginning, the prices were kind of off the charts, so everybody was like, oh, they're amazing. You're getting $400 in value out of every box. I was even saying it because that's what the prices were saying when you were opening the boxes. Wow, not much in that pack at all. But now that the prices are kind of settling down and going the opposite direction, you're lucky to get $150 out of the box, and that's what they're kind of selling for right now. So, yeah, there's a Crufix. There we go, another Mythic, and it's a decent one. A Vigor, and then a Balduvian Rage. The Vigor's worth, I think, a couple dollars. So, this box is definitely looking better than the last one so far, but still not anything exciting. But yeah, it's very, there's a lot of good cards in the set. There's a lot of valuable cards in the set, including in the common and uncommon slots. But with 1,800 cards, finding those hits is a little bit more difficult. Shardless Agent. I wonder what the Sharded Agent looks like. Karen Wanderer, Chaos Warp, and a Celestial Kieran from Saviors of Kamigawa. There's our foil. So, we're kind of breaking even, I think, on the pack so far, because we did get a couple of mythics that are worth a few bucks, but we'll see what happens here. My biggest thing is just trying not to cough on camera, because, you know, that's the hardest thing I have to deal with right now. Tejova. She's apparently Russian, but on some kind of other plane in the multiverse. Angelic Destiny for our third mythic, and then Gideon for our fourth mythic. So 2 mythics in one pack, and then a Herald of Lesharak is our Cold Snap Royal Fair. Yeah, foil rare or Royal Fair, whatever you prefer, which is worth a few bucks. So that wasn't a bad pack. None of those are real big money cards, but they are worth a couple bucks a piece, I think. So at least that pack paid for itself, and maybe a few cents on top. So that makes up for a lot of the packs that didn't pay for themselves. 410. That was a great card when it came out. I still think it's pretty usable. Dark Ritual, of course, one of my all-time favorites. I wish every color had a Dark Ritual. I mean, come on, Wizards. Really? Can't make a Dark Rit in every color? Come on. So, kind of weak that they don't let other colors ramp up like a Dark Ritual. They keep trying to make the game dumbed down instead of, you know, making it more brutal. I mean, they've got the standard kind of cycle to keep more of the brutal cards out of it. I mean, vintage would be, well, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. If you think, oh, Blue Tender, there we go. Finally getting some decent hits out of this box. The last box we didn't get any of the really good hits like that. Desolation Twin. He could be fun if you could build a combo around him. Chimney Imp. Funny little guy. Funny artwork. Look at that guy. Can you see that big grin on his face? He's about to fly down your chimney. Not the Santa Claus you were hoping for. It'll come bearing presents, probably. May not be the ones you want. Anyway, what do you think? Do you think if they ramped up the power, I mean, obviously if they ramp up the power, vintage is going to be just obscene, you know, but vintage is one that they're really not supporting much anymore anyway, so would it really matter? I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think they should ramp up the power to where there's even more brutal, more vintage-like decks in standard, and then they cycle out? Or do you think they're doing a good job at keeping it kind of a level playing field and, you know, banning anything that can be slightly manipulated to be fun, or, I mean, win, or, I mean, fun, or overpowered, I guess they call it. Thieving Magpie from Urza's Destiny, I believe. Nin the Paint Artist. Wow. Has anybody looked at that artwork really, really, really close? Oh, yeah, anyway. That's, I never noticed the artwork on that one before. Of course, I don't think I've seen this card before. Wow. Nin the Paint Artist. I like that one. I want to build a combo around that just for the artwork. That's good artwork. All right, moving on. Scrib Ranger for our foil. I don't think the Paint Artist is worth anything monetarily, but it's a nice card. Yeah, I don't know. I guess vintage is pretty powerful. Of course, problem is to play in the real vintage, you got to have a lot of money. I really think Fireball, one of my favorite cards of all time, Orchestra Flam. It used to be such a big card back in the day, and now it's just worthless. 4 mana, just give them all 1/1 or 1/1/0. Yeah, not even 1/1. So I like vintage. That's my favorite format. The Odds Maker, the Diamond Mare, Cheryl the Squirrel, and Crinkle Mob Boss. He's pretty fun. He can be annoying to your opponents. And a Ravenous Trap for a foil. So I like vintage because I like being able to do any combo I want and be able to use any card I want. But then of course there's ban or restricted lists, so you can't use every card you want. And the really fun cards like Demonic Tutor you can only use one of. So, but then, you know, of course that does make it to where the Power 9's not to where the guys with all the money have all the opportunity. You know, because if they could use 4 Black Lotuses in a deck, very few people could afford to play vintage at all, because the guys with the 4 Black Lotuses are going to win every time. They're going to win every time, probably on turn 0. So there is that. I mean, Power 9 definitely needs to be restricted. I'm not going to argue that. Yeah, Questing Fildergrove. Oh, and a Liliana. Nice. So, got another Mythic, and it's a Lily, and then a one with nothing. Everybody gives this card a hard time because they're like, this is the most worthless card ever. What they don't understand is they weren't playing in the Kamigawa block, apparently, because I was playing in the Kamigawa block, and this card was awesome because Kamigawa blocks when we had Madness. Because I believe that was right after the Odyssey block. I ended up putting the Krenko up in the Mythic, so I'm just trying to reorganize here. So this card was actually really awesome at the time because with Madness, it was much lower casting costs if you were to play the spells while discarding it. And if you were to play them normally, they cost way too much. So the whole concept around Madness, I keep going off screen while I'm trying to organize my piles here. The whole concept with Madness was being able to discard your own cards, and we didn't have a lot of sack outlets with creatures like we do now, that creatures will let you discard a card to do a different ability on the creature. So discarding cards wasn't something that was as easy for us to do back then. So this card, for 1 black mana, we could discard our whole hand and cast all these Madness cards at once. So we could cast our whole hand really, really cheap with this card. So everybody gives this card a lot of slack, saying it's the worst card ever in Magic, but within the block, it was actually a really, really good card. It was important, and it was a sought-after card when the block first came out. I was doing Friday Night Magic every weekend during the whole Kamigawa block and the Odyssey block right before it. And they were really, really fun blocks. And then, of course, the Time Spiral block after that was amazing. So, anyways, good old times. I just wanted to throw a little defense on the side of my good old one with nothing there. Everybody nowadays gives us such a hard time. Because, I mean, yeah, nowadays you look at that card, you're like, oh my god, that's useless. But at the time, it was important. Gutter Snap, he's a fun little guy. So, there is a reason why that card exists. It was not the worst card ever. Ooh, Priest of Titania, finally a nice common hit. That's a common, but it is worth a couple bucks because if you read it, she's a 2-drop 1/1 elf druid that tap to add green to your mana pool for each elf on the battlefield. You can get a lot of elves out pretty quick, and that gives you a lot of mana really fast. So she's an awesome card. Always love that card. Luxon Warhammer. We got an energy field. It seems like, to me, this is the most common of the old school rares. I seem to get this energy field in almost every box. And a Goblin Charbelcher, nice. We are getting a little more value in this box than the last one, that's for sure. Of course, the last one had pretty much nothing in it, so there's that. Lightning Storm for our foil from Cold Snap. So, there you have it. So that's what one with nothing is for. It was for Madness. Which I'm surprised people don't know that, because the 2019 Commander decks had a Madness deck, which is the one I plan on actually playing with. I've actually got it sleeved up and ready to go. Merciless Rage, I think it was called. So, Ooh, Resurrection. I didn't even know that was in the set. I didn't really pay attention to it. That was actually a really handy card back in the day. We used that a lot. Black could return creatures from the graveyard. Ooh, Lightning Bolt. Good card. Black could return creatures from the graveyard to your hand, but white could actually put them right back onto the battlefield back then. It was the only color that could do that in the early days. Because Resurrection, I think, was from either Alpha or Beta or Unlimited. It was one of the OG cards. The Hammer Dropper. Yeah, you don't want to be around when he drops the hammer on you. Yeah, anyways. Werewood Laws, good uncommon. Ooh, Enchanted Evenings, a good rare. A couple bucks there. The Crow and Horse, not so good rare. And then a Ruined Tail Kitsune Ascendant from Sabers Kamigawa. I did love these flip cards. And Ruined Tail's Essence. I loved how they became enchantments. It's funny, now the enchantments become creatures. Back then, the creatures would turn into enchantments. It's kind of funny. So, he's a pretty good card back in the day, and he works really good in today's format, too. So, with all the life gain, with all the Johnny decks and stuff, when you have 30 or more life, flip Ruined Tail Kitsune Ascendant. He's only a 3-drop 2/2, so you get him out there pretty easy, and then flip him. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to creatures you control. Makes all your creatures pretty well indestructible. So, pretty awesome card. That's one of the reasons I like Vintage, because you can use that card with the Johnny's decks and really just, be pretty unstoppable with it. So, but in Standard, you can't put it in there. Weak. I just don't like being so restricted and having to keep up with, what sets in, what sets not. So that's one of the reasons I prefer Vintage. So let me know what you guys think about it. But I know it's a lot more expensive to do Vintage, that's for sure. The Kargan Dragonlord is our next Mythic. Not a great Mythic, but could be worse. We could not have gotten a Mythic. Commit to Memory from Amon Kit. And then Leveler from Mirrodin. This guy was, we tried to come up with so many ways to get this guy in on the battlefield and stuff, and not die. But it's kind of difficult. He's a 5-drop 10/10, but when he comes into play, remove your library from the game. So you got to figure out a way to give him haste and attack with him like 14 times in one turn, so you can actually, or haste and trample and be able to attack with him a couple times in one turn, because otherwise, you lose next turn because you can't draw a card. So, there's that. We even used to try to use Tormod's Crypt, where you can reshuffle your graveyard into your library. And we used to try and fill up our graveyard with a little bit, and then cast him out, and then Tormod's Crypt our graveyard back into our library, so we'd have a library. So, we tried all kinds of stuff to make that guy work, but didn't really get too many good combos off that were functional, but it was fun. It was fun to try. And that's one of the biggest things about Magic that I love, is just trying to build decks that are fun. Everybody copies all these like World Champions decks now, and what's the fastest possible kill deck out right now? That's what I want to use, It's like, but that's not fun. It's not a cool combo that you created that is entertaining. So, Shrouded Lore from the old Planar Chaos. That's such a good block. I just love that block. And I love the way that they were taking risks with the cards, like doing the inverted colors and stuff on the text and whatnot. I wish they'd do more stuff like that now. I mean, that stuff was really cool, and they don't take chances now. Black Market, that's worth a couple bucks. Amulet of Vigor. This one, I don't know. It sucks that it's not in a standard set, because this would be really handy, because all the dual lands come into play tap now. I wouldn't mind putting 4 of these in a deck so I could run all the current dual lands, because think about it, like the what's the new lands? The Temples, they're terrible because they come into play tapped, and all you get to do is scry one. But if you had this out, you get a dual land into play untapped and still be able to scry one for free. So this guy, if it was in standard set, I think they should put this in the core sets. I mean, why do they not put this in the core sets? If they're going to have the lands that tap, they should put the Amulet of Vigor in the core sets. That's my 2 cents worth. It's probably only worth a penny and a half, but that's my 2 cents worth regardless. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think of that. All right, let's get back into this here. I totally forgot what my other conversation was about, but it probably wasn't that important if I forgot about it, right? Beast Breaker of Balaged. Yeah, trying to say that 10 times fast, or 1 time slow like I just did. Yeah, anyway. I thought that was a cool concept, the level up thing. I wasn't around during that, so I don't know how well it actually works, though. Let me know if that level up thing actually functioned as cool as it looks. I assume not, considering they stopped doing it, but could be wrong. Lightning Greaves, good little uncommon hit. Volunteer Reserves from Weatherlake, good old banding. If you're unfamiliar with banding, if you weren't around back in the day, banding meant you could band it with another creature, and then when they blocked a creature, you could actually assign the combat damage yourself instead of the opponent being able to assign combat damage. So that was pretty neat. Solemn Simulacrum. I don't know whether that was an uncommon or a common or rare or what. I'll have to put that off the side till I figure it out. Solemn Simulacrums is worth. Yeah, I could always say this before, but I watch all these other YouTubers mispronounce it, and now I'm having trouble pronouncing it. Solemn Simulacrum. That's how you pronounce it. Okay? Just so you know. Just saying. That's worth a couple bucks. Good card. Glittering Wish is... Jeez, I just can't say anything tonight. Glittering Wish is also worth a couple bucks. Of course, it is like 2:30 in the morning, so that could be one of the reasons. Man, I've had a rough week. Yeah. Thanks, Wuhan. All right. Anyways. Defiance Strike. Anything good? Anything good? Anybody see anything good? I don't see anything good. Do you see anything good? Because I don't see anything good. Nothing good. Return to the Earth. Tower Gargoyle. Temple of the False God. Viashino Sandstalker. Fun little guy from Visions. I used to have a deck built around these unaffected by summoning sicknesses, but bounce back to your hand at the end of turn, because I called it yo-yo, because they go down, go over, come right back. Recast on the next turn. Fun cards. Mystic Confluence. I think that's nope, that's rare. And then a Braid of Fire. There we go. That's a good rare foil. So we got a couple decent little hits out of this one. Much better than the last box, but still not really pulling the big old whammies. Nothing lighting up the screen yet. Nothing making me jump to my feet and wake up a little here. So it's not good. Driver of the Dead. Gotta drive those dead around. Wow, we're just not getting a lot in the last couple of boxes here. Fairy Conclave, decent little land. Magus of the Moat, good card there. Greenbelt Rampager, not quite as exciting. Boreal Druid, decent foil. I think it's worth like $1.50, $2, something like that. Little mana elf that only produces colorless. Packs falling out everywhere. We got a mess. Knight of Sorrows. He must be emo. Alright, let me see. We gotta get something in here. Come on. Where's the hits? Where's the good stuff? We want some good stuff. Martial Glory. Okay. Not the vial we were hoping for. Phantom Centaur from Judgment. Judgment was a fun set. This guy has no toughness. That was an uncommon, that's right. Judgment was a good set that doesn't get a lot of respect these days, I've noticed. Mind Spring, draw X cards, always good. Goblin Bushwhacker, I think he might be worth $1 or $2. And the foil, and there's a common. I've noticed that that whole block, that Odyssey block, with Odyssey, Judgment, and Torment, I noticed that whole block doesn't really get a whole lot of respect these days. A lot of people were really into that block, apparently. But I had a blast during that block. I thought that was really well-designed sets back then. Especially Torment, I thought was a great idea. It's a small set. I think it was under 100 cards. But it was mainly geared towards black. And I thought they were going to end up doing that with all the colors, which would have been amazing. But they didn't. They wimped out. They chickened out after it. Oh, Mistress Factory used to be a beast card back in the day. Giltleaf Palace. I think that might be the first one of these I've opened in these mystery booster boxes. I could be wrong, but I don't remember seeing it. At least I haven't seen it in a few boxes. That's a Lorwyn, one of the Lorwyn dual lands. You can, it's a dual land that either comes into play tapped, or you can reveal an elf card from your hand, and then it comes into play untapped, which is pretty neat, especially because in green and black you're probably going to have some elves in there. Boom Pile, worthless rare. And Tribe Scout, one of the more valuable uncommon foils, because you can tap them to put or her, she's got ta-tas. So you can tap her to put a land card from your hand into play. And it's 1-drop, 1/1. But it's not an elf, which is surprising. It's a Snake Shaman Scout. Should have been an elf. Really should have been an elf. I could have used that in elf ball. Alright, so I believe there's a popular deck called Elf Ball now, but it's not the same. Not the same thing. Nope, not talking about the same deck. I did see that online. Thornwood Falls. Oh, we don't get enough of those in regular sets. Avalanche Riders from Urza's Destiny. Urza's. It's not Saga. What's the other one? Yeah, I'll figure it out in a minute. Legacy. Urza's Legacy. There we go. Misdirection. And then Stalking Stones from Myriad for our foil. And we're down to 4 packs and still no Mana Crypt. What is going on? I'm beginning to wonder if my LGS didn't swap around the boxes and the cases, because we shouldn't go a whole case without a Mana Crypt, should we? Really? Even an 1800 card set? It's less than a case hit? We're going to go entire cases without it? That just seems wrong. Yeah, we'll see. Alright. If I open all 6 of these boxes and don't get one, I'm going to be very mad. Violent Ultimatum. That's what I'm going to be thinking about. Fibblethip. Hey, I said it. First time I think I've been able to say that. Your Tiller Nephilim. Mostly useless card. And it's like really thick too. Weird. 3 packs to go. And we have gone quite a few packs without any actual hits at all. In fact, a large portion of the box. The box started off pretty decent and then fizzled. It fibble-thipped out. Oh, that's an uncommon. It's hard to tell on some of these. Propaganda, I think, might actually be worth $1 or $2. For an uncommon. Not too bad. Runs Vanquisher. That was a fun one to say. Engineer Might. Automation. Brimstone Dragon from Portal Second Age, back when they used to put the starter emblems. This is your attack. This is your defense. It is unaffected by summoning sickness. They didn't have a haste back then. It was only an 8-drop flyer, don't worry. Alrighty. Wheel of Fate, pretty cool card. And then Reki, the History of Kamigawa. Pretty cool. Get to draw a card whenever you play a legendary spell. He was from Saviors of Kamigawa. This one, Wheel of Fate, I think was originally from one of the Time Spiral sets. I don't remember which one, because it's got the suspend on it, which was originally from that Time Spiral block. It was pretty cool. Kind of like a Wheel of Fortune, but you had to wait for 4 turns to actually play it. A Wheel of Fortune with massive summoning sickness. Alright, so yeah, we're looking like we stalled out quite a while ago and haven't picked back up yet. So I'm kind of worried now. This is it's pretty weak. Heuristic Study, finally. God, this is the fifth box I've opened to this, and this is the first Heuristic Study I've gotten, and it's a common. Of course, it is a very expensive common. I think that's like a $23 common. So, Approach of the Second Sun. I love alternate win conditions, so it's fun to me. We'll see. And then Spelltith Enforcer from, what was that? Was that Legions? I think that's Legions. The Onslaught block there. I think, or is that Dissension? No, Dissension was the pointier one. I think that's Legions. I have no idea. That's been a long time. And it's really late. And I'm really exhausted. And it's been a rough week. So, there we go. And I still haven't got a Mana Crypt. And that makes me very sad puppy. Alright. All right, last pack. We're hoping to go out with a bang, but this box has looked fairly weak so far. Not as weak as the one I opened last time, but still not very good. Common in our old school slot, an attempt with discovery is our rare, and a Mindslaver for our last foil. So there we have it. We did a lot better than the last box, but that's not saying much, and I don't think we did really a lot better, but we did a little bit better. We might have broken even on this one. The last one I think we actually lost money on. This one might have broken even with the Bloom Tender and the Ristic Study. And then we got a couple decent mythics like the Liliana and the Kruvix, which are a couple bucks a piece. The Priest of Titania. There's a couple decent rares and uncommons in there, so we might have broken even on this one, or might have come out a couple dollars ahead because I got the boxes cheap. But I don't know that we got 150 out of this one. 150, 160 what the box are going for at the moment. But I expect those to come down, like I said, because this next reprint, when it comes out, it's probably going to be pretty sizable because Wizards saw how popular these were, I'm sure, and how quickly the prices jumped. So Wizards is going to want to make as much money as they can off of it. So it's probably going to be a very large reprint. As far as I know, it's going to be only one reprint of this set, but I think it's going to be a really large reprint. Nothing like the standard sets, but there'll probably be plenty of supply, so that's going to drive the prices down. Plus, with everything going on in the economy right now, the prices are automatically going to fall. So I think they're going to come down quite a bit. So hopefully I'll be able to pick up some more at more of the prices that I paid for these, and I can open some more in the future and maybe actually get a Mana Crypt. Jeez, I only got one box left and I haven't pulled a Mana Crypt. 5 boxes, no Crypt. What is up with that, Wizards? Come on. Now, I've seen people get 2 Crypts in one box. This is not exactly sorted very well. All right, guys, I really appreciate you watching. Check out one of the other videos up there if you got some time. And hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.